Go ahead and kind of slide your buttocks to the edge of the chair, all the way to the front, and all the way to the back, and all the way to the front, all the way to the front, and all the way to the back. So your full thigh is on the chair. And then slide so the full thigh is outside of the chair. The thigh is hanging out. And now put your hands on the chair and slide back. I guess it's a little harder for you guys to slide because you may have like a cushiony chair. It's a little easier for me. So go ahead and put your hands and shift your body and slide forward and move your feet forward. So your whole thigh is outside of the chair. Move the feet backwards a little bit and push with your hands and move back. And again, put your hands on the edge of the chair, lean forward, and slide as far forward as you can. And put your feet back a little bit and slide back. I'm annoying you. And forward. And now we're going to start paying attention. We're going to shift the body forward. The head will be now over the knees. And that would make it easier to slide forward, and now we can make a little step. So we're learning how to do it, because we don't always have a chair that does it for us. And step back, put your hands on the chair and take your whole body back. And put your hands on the edge, take a step and slide forward. And bring your feet forward so they are underneath your knees. And back. And so for us to go back, we have to lift the tailbone. It's like we're lifting the tailbone. So just have your hands and lift the tailbone and down. Lift only the tailbone and down. There you go, beautiful. And lift the tailbone and down. And how much do you push on your feet? Like I have my feet, so I'm almost kind of getting up to running. So I'm on my toes and the pillows. And I'm lifting the tailbone. Now what happens with the eyes? Where are they going? Going a little bit higher, right? From the floor a little bit higher. And now I'm going to go all the way back to sitting. And I'm going to put my hands and I'm going to shift my body and I'm going to lift my tailbone and I'm going to come all the way to the front. And I'm going to shift forward and lift my tailbone and I'll come all the way to the back. And suddenly it's not so hard like it was a couple of minutes ago. So let's do it 4 times a little faster. Shift and back and shift and forward. Shift and back and shift and forward. Shift and back. Shift and forward. One more time. Shift and back. Shift and forward. And we're going to stay forward. Pa-pam, pa-pam. And bang the heels to the ground. Ta-tam, 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 pa-pam. Ta-tam, 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 pa-pam, 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 pa-pam. Good. Take a deep inhalation, lift the whole trunk with new oxygen and let it go. And again, inhale, the lower lungs, the middle of the lungs, and all the way up to the top of the lungs, and let it go. And again, inhale. And let it go. And put your hands on the ribs. And see if you can slide it to the side a little bit. So if you're sitting inside the chair, you won't be able to do it because of the handles that you have on the chair. You need to be on the edge of the chair, forward. So you can put you on the edge, on the very, very edge, so the thighs are outside. And put your hands on your ribs. And bring your fingers together. And bring your fingers apart. And keep them apart. And now go ahead and bend to one side and feel how the ribs on one side get shorter and on the other side they open. And bring them back to the center. And let's do the other side. Bend. And now turn your fingers so it's the back of the fingers touching and lift it a little bit higher towards your armpit. And bend and feel how that side is contracting and the other side is opening. And come to center. And bend to the other side. And now slide your fingers down to the bottom of your ribs and see if you can feel that contraction on the side you're bending and the opening on the side that you are going away from and coming back up and side and coming back up. Let's put the fingers down. That's kind of hard, but just see if, no, maybe like this, and see if you can sense that one part of the ribs don't want to bend or open, and come up, and the other side, and come up, and let the arm go, rest the arms. We're going to do a lot of bending in different ways and see if we can get the ribs to be a little bit more flexible and not just protecting our inner organs. See if we can use the muscles that's in between each rib, without the S. So we'll start by just letting the ear go over the shoulder. Just drop your right ear over the right shoulder. And stay there for a minute and see if the weight of the head affects your ribs on the side you're bending, and does it pull a little bit on the ribs on the side that you are bending away from. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Now the shoulder, the left shoulder, will travel up towards the left ear. The left shoulder travels up towards the left ear. And now pull it away from the left ear while the head is still hanging to the right. So you get a kind of a stretch on your neck. And lift the shoulder up. The left shoulder comes up. And the left shoulder goes down. The left shoulder comes up, without the elbow if you can, just the shoulder, and down. Let's do it just one more time. And now feel how much curve you have on the right versus how much of an opening you have on the left. And now we're going to come up a little bit at a time until we come to the center. We're going to sit in the center for a minute and we're going to pay attention to the difference between the side that got shorter to the side that got longer. Which side is it easier to breathe to? Can you feel the lungs on the left side that got lengthened versus the right side that got shorter? And now we're going to equalize it. We're going to let the head tilt to the left, and the left ear will come closer to the left shoulder. And we're going to just stay there, and we're going to let gravity do its magic. And we're going to pay attention to the ribs on the left, getting like an accordion, shorter on one side and more open on the right side. And we're going to inhale. And we're going to exhale. And now we're going to start dragging the right shoulder up towards the right ear. And then we're going to lower it. And we try to work with the shoulder, not with the elbow. And the right shoulder will be dragged up. And then it lets go back to its original place. You don't have to stretch it. And up. And down. Can you notice that just by doing the movement of the shoulder, the right shoulder, you're actually getting lower and lower on your left side? Let's do the right shoulder one more time. And roll yourself one rib at a time until you come up to center. Take a minute to inhale and to exhale. And inhale again. And exhale again. Go ahead and take your right hand and put it on the leg of your chair on the right side. So the hand is touching and holding the leg on the right side. And your hip is really close to the edge. And we're going down to the right side with the hand sliding on the leg until you feel a stretch right in your left hip. You went as far as you feel the stretch in the left hip. And now, lift the heel of the left leg and lift the hip on the left side and drop it back down. And lift the heel and the hip on the left side and drop it down. And lift the heel and the hip on the left side and drop it down. And I don't see the heel coming up and the hip coming up and down. And one more time. The heel comes up on the left leg, foot, and the hip comes up on the left hip and come down. And now slide the arm back up and center. It will be so much easier if you sit all the way to the edge of the chair. If you're sitting halfway in, you're not going to get the full results. So I encourage you to sit all the way to the edge. Your buttocks muscles are still on the chair, but the legs are out. And let's try the left. So we're holding on to the left leg of the chair. And we let the head lean to the left. The left hand is sliding down the leg of the chair until you feel the stretch in your right hip. When you feel that stretch, stop. That's as far down as you're going to go. lift the heel of the right foot, lift the hip of the chair, and drop both of them back down. And lift the heel of the right foot, and lift the right hip off the chair a little bit, and drop it back down. And lift the heel and the hip, and drop down. And right heel and right hip, and drop down, and slide up, one rib at a time. Wonderful. Don't go back, don't go back. Stay on the edge of the chair, please. And lift one hip and drop. And lift the other hip and drop. And lift one hip and drop. Lift the other hip and drop. So it's the pelvis that comes off and comes off. It's one tush being lifted off the chair and put down, and one tush lift off the chair and down. And keep on doing it, and as you're doing it, see if you can do it without lifting the heel off the floor, just the hip. Up and rock and rock and rock and rock and rock. And the feet are flat on the floor. Rock, 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 rock and rock. The feet are on the floor. The heels are touching the ground at all time. Good. And rest in the center. Roll your hip back and roll your hip forward. Roll your hip back and roll your hip forward. Put your hands right above your knees on the thighs, and you're so far forward that your tail can lift up and drop. And lift up and drop. So you're going onto the feet and you're dropping. And notice what your eyes are doing. The eyes go a little bit up and down. The eyes goes up and down. They want to go up and down. And up and down. Good. And up and down. And one more. Up and down. Very good. Wonderful. So we're going to go back to the edge of the chair. The right hand will touch the leg of the chair. We're going to slide down. And now the left elbow will come up and up and up and up until it gets up to the armpit, and it will keep on coming up and up and up to the ceiling. And now the left arm will be pulling us up to center. It's the left arm that's pulling me up to center, and now I can relax the left arm down. So it's a big stretch. So we're not going to do it a few times, we're going to do it side to side rather than doing 4 times on one side. So take a deep breath, relax the breath, and start tilting your head to the left, sliding with your left hand down on the left leg of the chair until you feel the stretch in your right hip, and then the elbow will start coming up through the ribs, touch your ribs, armpit, and up until the right arm is up towards the ceiling, and now the right arm will be pulling me up, 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 like I'm trying to save myself out of the water. And the right arm relaxes. Beautiful. Take a deep breath. Relax the breath. And tilt to the right. The right hand slides down on the right leg of the chair. You get all the way to where you feel the stretch at the top of your ilium of the hip, and then the elbow is starting to come up, the fingers are walking up your ribs, you're touching your armpit, and you keep on coming up and up and up and up and up, and now your left arm is going to be pulling you out and out and out and out. And then relax the left arm. Take a deep breath in. Relax the breath. And we're going to go to the left. Drop your left ear to the left shoulder and slide with the left hand down the leg of the leg until you feel the stretch right here on your ilium. At that point, the elbow is starting to bend, your fingers are traveling up your ribs, up to the armpit, and extend. And then the arm will come up and up and up and up and up, pulling me all the way to center. And relax. Take a deep breath. Relax the breath. Take another deep breath. And the next one, we're going to go down with the arm down the leg of the chair. The head is going down over the shoulder. And now my left arm will go back and over. And I will bring it from the front all the way to the side. And I'm going to try to get all the way to my hand, my right hand. I cannot do it, but this is the direction. We're trying to stretch the muscle called quadratus lumborum from the spine to the ilium, to the hip bone. And bring the arm back out. And bring it back into the right arm. And open to the front again. And close to the side again. And open to the front again. And one more time to the chair, to the right side. And slide up and slide back to center. So that muscle is right here, coming from like this, from the spine to the hip, and it attaches inside the hip, in the front of this bone. So that's why we're going to the side and rotating. So let's do the left side. I'm sitting on the edge of the chair, my hand is on the leg, head is tilting, arm is sliding down the leg, the right arm coming from the back, through the front, reaching towards the left, inhaling, opening to the center, coming back towards the chair and the left arm. Inhaling, open. Exhale, rotate to the side. Inhale and open. Rotate to the side while you exhale. And one more time, open up as you inhale. And rotate. And come back to center. Put your hands on the chair. Lean your body forward a little bit so your tail is coming up. Lift your hip and move back. Good. Put one hand on the arm of the chair and put the other hand on the outside of your leg. And actually, you know what? Let's do it different. Put the right hand on the chair itself and the left hand on the chair itself. And now roll yourself down as if you're looking at the floor right in front of the side of the chair. And now pull back without moving the hands. Pull back. So now your eyes are on the chair. And now without straightening the back, still with bending, move the head outside of the chair. And move back away so the eyes are over the chair. Your back is round to the side. And forward so you see the floor. And back. Your eyes are over the chair. And one more time. Move forward so the eyes are now on the floor. And slowly roll up. And move the arms to the other side of the chair. Roll your back down. Your eyes are on the floor. Move your whole torso backwards so the eyes are now over the chair. And move the torso forward. The eyes are on the floor. And move the whole torso. And your eyes are looking at the hip and the chair. And move forward to the side. And move back. And move forward. And move back. And roll up. And last time. Hands on the chair, on the corner of the chair. Shift your torso forward, lift the tailbone and up. And shift your body forward a little bit until the tailbone is lifted. And then see if you can shift your body weight into the legs and come back down. And shift your body weight forward until you can very smoothly put the weight into the feet and the legs. And notice what's the relationship between the head and that tail, and slowly gliding out of the chair. Beautiful. Good. Take a deep breath in. And out. Put your hands on your sternum and feel the breath coming up into the sternum. And relax the breath. And now put one hand on your belly and one hand on your sternum and feel the breath going into the belly and into the sternum. And relax. Wonderful. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you next year.